you're in the 80s again when you're wearing a chrome jumpsuit. So that's because Buck Rogers called, he wants his clothes back.
You know the way all of our episodes are on YouTube. Someone was watching, I'm going to say WrestleMania 2. It was an episode where it was me, you, and Niall, and not OOC. Someone just posted, geez, someone told me, I didn't know it was true. OOC in the early days was a young lesbian.
You know that wasn't me, right?
Obviously, yeah, I think he is.
Okay.
Just having a playful jab.
Yeah, okay. All right. No, that's fine. I just want to... Let's just nip that in the bud right now. Okay?
Cut that, and it's in.
Hilarious. Hello and welcome to OSW Review, the old school wrestling video podcast. Filmed in glorious grapple vision and encoded with blast processing, we chronologically critique wrestling storylines pay-per-view by pay-per-view. This is your host, the 2.5-time Golden Nogger Award winner, Jay Hunter.
Motherfucker.
And V1 on OC.
Boo.
All right.
It's episode 63, TNA Destination X 2007, and it's coming up right now. Welcome, Naggers. Days are here again. Awesome. We are in a new story arc. Holy shit. TNA.
Black Eyed the Rally Tales.
Happy to be here. This is a great year.
Oh, 2005, 2006 was great years.
I didn't start watching until 2007. And as we go through the show and as we go through the story arc, we will see just how awesome a lot of this stuff was. And obviously how terrible.
But mostly awesome.
Yeah.
After our Golden Ogres, our fans are asking, how are you getting on? Getting your smokes.
Yeah, not bad. Because I got the...
You're on the vape, are you? What's it like?
Obviously, it's not a patch on cigarettes. Pardon the pun.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
But it's working.
Good.
Treat myself when we're in Orlando, though, but...
Many days we go for 7, 146 days.
We will be at WrestleCon just before WrestleMania 33. Oh, shit.
It's fucking close as well.
Yeah, holy shit. Yeah, buy some tickets. See us on a live show on Thursday or meet and greet on Friday. And fucking say hello. Hello.
Meow, meow, meow.
Meow, 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 meow.
So we're doing 4, was it?
Ooh, yeah. yeah. Yes. Okay. Destination X, Lockdown, Hard Justice, and Bound for Glory.
Solid.
Anyway, before we start, let's get you up to speed. Steve, how about a quick jaunt through the history of TNA? 1999, WWF. Russo books his buddy Jeff Jarrett to retain the IC belt until after his contract expires. Without contractual obligation, Jeff Jarrett says, can I wrestle more without my money? And extort, what's the friendly term for extort? He legally ransoms roughly $250,000 from Vince to do one match, drop the belt at No Mercy 99 to China.
Fair play to him.
From then on, Jarrett was blackballed from the WWF, and they still do their best to never feature him. Late 99, Russo joins Jeff Jarrett in WCW, and the two run it into the ground. WCW closes in 2001, and both are out of a job. Later that year, Jeff, his dad Jerry Jarrett, and Bob Ryder go on a fishing trip. Filthy hobbitses.
I've been listening to that song so much since the Golden Nuggets.
Amazing.
There, Jarrett realises if he wants to work in the USA, he'll have to make his own promotion. And he can, thanks to the seed money screwing Vince back in 99. He even mortgaged his house to get TNA off the ground. TNA? Yes, NWA TNA, total non-stop action. Vince Russo thought of it, obviously. Very, early 2000s edgelord.
Yeah.
Kitcheners. So it's kind of current, but difficult to take seriously. TNA needed financial backers. Health South had to pull out due to
financial irregularities.
And Jeff Jarrett chatted to Dixie Carter, whose PR firm he worked with recently. He convinced her to convince her parents to get into the wrestling business. And TNA were in business. $1 billion Panda Energy invested in TNA. If they didn't invest, they would have been dead in 2002. TNA started off with no TV deal. They did weekly pay-per-views for $9.95. Starting in June 2002, they did a total of 114 pay-per-views, bringing us up to September 2004. By then, they were big enough to sign a deal with Fox Sports, starting their weekly one-hour TV show, TNA Impact, out of Universal Studios. They cancelled their weekly pay-per-views and did monthly pay-per-views instead, starting with Victory Road 2004.
All right, listen up. We're moving.
In fall of 2005, WWE moved Raw back to the USA Network, where they remained ever since, leaving a pro wrestling gap in Spike's lineup, and TNA swooped in.
Well, looks like, boys, we're going to turn point. Guys, it's great to be the kings. It's good to be the king. We are the kings of wrestling.
There was always two distinct sides to TNA. Their incredible homegrown talent, most notably AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, Abyss, and bringing in older ex-WWF and WCW names like DDP, Hall, Nash, Raven, and the New Age Outlaws.
Hall and Nash. The King of Wrestling.
Yeah, the King of Wrestling. Yeah. In September 2005, they hired the Dudley Boys, going under Team 3D. In November, Christian turned up, which was our impetus to start watching TNA.
Totally.
And in January 2006, Sting showed back up. In March, Scott Steiner. And their biggest ever signing in September, Kurt Angle. Actually, they didn't publicise it, but a few days prior to that, there was another important signing. TNA quietly rehired Vince Russo. Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh shit! It's Vince Russo!
He was on the ground floor of TNA back in 2002 as both on-screen and a writer, having his own faction of Sports Entertainment Extreme.
Sex. What a twat.
And he left when they started doing monthly pay-per-views, but now he's back. Instantly, the number of gimmick matches and frantic bullshit stiffs shot up. 2006 was great pay-per-view wise. Gimmick stuff kept to the intense 1-hour TV show. But now it's full-on bollocks on pay-per-view. Tonight, it's Destination X. Let's do it to it. Dun 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 dun. Okay, it wasn't a great song.
No.
TNA, we are wrestling.
Walk, 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 walk. TNA, we are wrestling. TNA voiceover guy Barry Scott, awesome. First you must die in order to live. March 11th, 2007, from the Impact Zone in Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida, in front of 900 in attendance and approximately 30,000 pay-per-view buyers. It's Destination X. Commentators tonight are Don West and Iron Mike Tenay.
So I hear Don West again. It's been years since I've even heard of that guy.
He's back with the insane brown bag deal.
He is an excited man.
March 2007, that's months into Facebook going public. Prior to September 2006, it was only high schools and businesses could join it. Twitter was a year old and had just begun to tip, and YouTube was still only streaming in 240p.
Wow.
We were still on Bebo.
Bebo!
Yeah, us and like New Zealand.
Dub beat dub ringside.
I think it was like 2008.
Was it?
Yeah. Whenever Black Rain hit the scene, that set everything in motion. But shit, Impact Zone, 900 people, Don West, Mike Tenay, holy shit. Let's do it.
Let's fucking do it.
Our inaugural contest is an anything goes, no DQ, non-title ghetto brawl tag match.
Straight into bollocks, lads. Jesus.
But this is a gimmick pay-per-view, no?
No.
No, it's not actually, is it?
Well, it is, but it's not meant to be.
It's the Latin American Exchange versus Team 3D, Brother Ray and Brother Devon.
That's hilarious, Brother Devon.
Devon. Oh man, as soon as the fucking fucking marked out.
Yeah.
LAX Conan.
In his fucking wheelchair.
Yeah, he's just gotten hip surgery at the time. And he'd leave in June and have a kidney transplant in July.
Fuck.
It's quite hilarious that TNA paid for his surgery. He said, well, I got it because I was wrestling in TNA. I'm not paying you back. And he just went to AAA.
Good.
As soon as he left, LAX were doomed.
Yeah.
LAX are a year into their run, a badass, outspoken heel, anti-discrimination Latino gang with Conan as their mouthpiece. He is fucking awesome. He fought creative tooth and nail, which is why they were so good. They go to the Spanish broadcast booth to Hector Guerrero.
I was about to say, it's Eddie Guerrero.
It's like seeing a ghost, seeing him.
He's the ringer for him. He's just, a bit thinner, basically.
So
and older looking.
Yeah.
He's like, this is what Eddie would look like now, kind of.
Yeah.
And he sounds like him as well. He has the he has the accent as well.
Well, I think every Latin wrestler now has the Eddie gimmick, so that's pretty much it.
So, like, he literally joins TNA, the Impact beforehand. And so LAX are like, getting in there, Now
I want to talk to mi raza.
You can see TNA are still using the NWA tag belts there.
Yeah.
So we're in March and TNA would split off from the NWA in May.
Okay.
So basically companies pay the NWA to use their name in their belts, and when they get big enough, they drop them. Like WCW did it in 93. Still going today, the Tim Storm won from the Jack Stain in NWA Texoma in October.
Jack Stain. That's gross.
Team 3D. Sadly, WWE owned the Dudley name. Despite the lads using the Dudley name in ECW, WWE owned it, so fuck it. Yeah.
Why couldn't they change them to like DOO? Like the Doodleys.
That's why, probably.
Bubba Ray Doodley? Oh, it'd be brilliant, lads.
And the Dudley Boys work in one-night stands. But WWE didn't pick them up for WWE ECW. Despite being crazy over.
Yeah, it's kind of strange, actually.
Their opponents from New York City, Brother Ray and Brother Devon, they are Team 3D!
Their song, it's just a shameless rip-off of their WWE song. You know that get up, get up, get up, drop the bombshell. But the TNA version just goes like ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. And then it's like it's just shit.
Come down. Fuck's sake, Bubba's in the laziest ring gear. He's got his cut-off black tee, which he got from merch, and stretchy jeans.
Do you know what I forgot to do? Keep count of how many times he picked up his jocks. Yes!
Fuck's sake.
I love
Trish
it.
Stratus flipping out. Stop fixing your fucking jocks, man. You can see here TNA use a 6-sided ring to be unique, although AAA beat them to it. Taut ropes to aid more high-flying moves. It's a WCW size ring, 16x16, with the corners shaved off.
It's tiny. I don't see why they couldn't have had a 20x20 ring and cut the sides off that. It would just look a bit nicer.
So they do this so that the smaller athletes look bigger, and also so that they're always closer to the ropes. Schmoz Hernandez with the Undertaker dive over the top rope. Schmoz to the crowd. Let's go up and down the aisles. Really dangerous spot as obvious plants throw crazy worked punches to Hernandez.
Yeah. Terrible looking.
Oh my god.
What if you were sitting beside these lads and I can fucking throw a few digs.
And you throw a punch.
Absolutely. But we just start battering you. And that'll be
exactly.
It. The crowd fucking eat it up.
They are into everything. Rabid for it all, like.
Back at ringside, the lads start raining down head chair shots onto each other. Trash can lids, chairs, side of the barricade. FYI, this is March 2007, so it's pre-Benoit, but Bubba Ray, specifically, he's into big, nasty head chair shots. TNA in general were very slow to eliminate headshots. Back in 2010, WWE banned head chair shots, and TNA responded with Homicide smashing Rob Terry over the head on impact.
Rob Terry, do you remember him?
No. Hernandez pulls himself up to the top rope headshot, gets superplexed off, and takes a flying headbutt. Babyface Dudley's with some crowd-friendly pop open some brewskis. This is the get my celebration in now spot. Real giveaway who wins. And a friendly countdown for fans to 1, 2, 3, get the tables! Time to wrap it up. Latino Nation, 6 lads in stereotypical thug outfits, and the Mexican Sheik. Johnny Rod's a legit Devon's old teacher, and these trainee wrestlers have to sell for this 68-year-old man.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's like he's gone Super Saiyan, God Super Saiyan. They're just flying away from like 100 miles an hour, all bumping like crazy for him. It's kind of like what they did for Taker in this year's Rumble. They just run into him, he punches them, and they go flying. 68.
Black lads from Samurai Cop show up. Devon's brothers from Brooklyn come out to complete this ethnic race war.
Because it's Team 3D, you would have thought there would have been like half white and half black guys come out.
Oh.
Do you mean minstrels? They clear the ring for the people actually in the match. Doomsday device to Homicide.
Nice and safe.
And Bubba fixes his jocks. Hernandez takes a 3D. So Bubba takes himself out of the equation. Paparazzi Productions, Alex Shelley distracts Devon. Homicide, wow. Camera bump. Shelley hits a frog splash on Devon, just barely breaking the table. And Homicide picks up the scraps and the 3 in 14:49 to score the non-title win.
Classic Team 3D in TNA, constantly going into the crowd.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate fucking shortcut. How long can we waste walking up these stairs? We could do 10 minutes up, 10 minutes down, match over.
A bit of walk and brawl, take a drink from a fan, hit him in the head.
Yeah.
But you can't say they're wrong for doing it because the fans eat it up.
Mm-hmm.
But the end was like an overbooked mess. That was alright. Decent opener.
Yeah, I'd say because it's the first match of TNA of this story arc, I gave it a pass. Decent brawl, not a big fan of these kind of matches, especially going into the crowd. But the crowd were into it, as they always are for the Team 3D stuff. So yeah, overall, agree with Steve. It was alright.
Yeah, enjoyable nothing match. Big schmoz with weapons. Tons of faff to have a laugh around, barely wrestle. But it doesn't matter, it popped the crowd, everybody loved it. So I thought it was great. Crowd-pleasing pay-per-view curtain jerker.
Steve, I think you made a great point in that.
No, you didn't.
that we're going to be very kind to this because it's the first match of a new story arc. First time we've watched TNA for the show. Got away lightly, boys.
Steve, you know what's coming next month, don't you? It's going to be bollocks.
Oh, yeah.
My boy, Jeremy Borash, JB.
Hold on. If he's anyone's boy, he's all of our boys. He's a shared boy. What?
We pass him around, yeah.
Sharing boys.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh, that's okay. That's all right. But he's not a boy because he's awesome.
Looking very WCW 2000 here with his frosted tip.
He's hilarious. Michael Cole is jealous.
Will it be Christian Cage tonight, retaining as World Heavyweight Champion? If you think so, text the word Cage to 25,000.
Text TNA Mobile. Text Joe to 25,000.
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. I actually can't wrap my head around the people that would just waste money to text these things.
Weird, because it's not like as if their name is going to come up on the screen.
Yeah.
You're one of that 48%.
Yeah. Do you reckon it's costing more to just have this server or to have one person counting and their wages for that night? They're like already in the fucking red. TNA.
Solemn Rhino cuts a reserved promo getting over the dangerousness of Elevation X. He is afraid because gravity plays no favourites.
I thought this was an okay promo for Rhino. Slow it down a bit, mate. He kind of flew through it, but...
Okay. At the commentator's booth, the lads run down the entire card. TNA gets over. He can't wait for the last Rites match. It's like, neither can I, buddy. Next up, it's an intergender double bullrope tornado tag match. Guess who booked this shit? It's the pride of Tennessee, Miss Jackie Moore and Cowboy James Storm. Oh, I was like, James Storm. Fuck yeah. If you're wondering what's happening here, James Storm recently turned heel. AMW split in December. His ex-partner is still out, and more on that next time. He's nursing a eye injury. He's nursing a career injury. And they're taking on Canadians Petey Williams and Gail Kim. So it's a tornado tag, i.e. everyone's active at the same time, no disqualification, and the first pin or submission wins it. Double scoop slam, and the Canadians start trying to hang the heels. Fucking hell. So in an intergender double bull rope tornado tag match, the women are tied to the women and the men are tied to the men. Gail ties Jackie against the ring post outside. I thought it was oddly sexual.
What's the point of the bull rope?
Just, you can't get away from me, and I'm from Texas. Actually, not Tennessee.
And to confuse women. To get themselves, like, completely caught in a tangle and miss most of the match.
I think that's what they just booked. It's like, you guys fuck off, and you're coming back for the finish line.
It was a bit of a mess. The booking made them look like idiots. That's quite Russo, isn't it? He is not a fan of women.
Storm ties Petey upside down using the ropes. Reminds me a bit of Crush WrestleMania 10, I was feeling, you know?
Oh, falls count anywhere.
Yep.
Very good.
With Crush and Macho Man. Hilariously, the ref breaks the fall as Petey's touching the ropes because he was tied up on the ropes.
But I would imagine this is a no DQ match.
Yeah. What the fuck, lads?
The rules!
Willie bit him. I was supposed to be Dusty. Eye of the Storm looks great with the bull rope as it gets a bit of traction. Like he does and it picks up, you know?
And Petey Williams is a pretty good fucking wrestler.
Storm motions for the Canadian Destroyer but sandbags a back body drop instead. The men fight in the ring. Rope burn spot, tugging the rope, and Storm takes a flip bump. He'd always do kind of spots that involve his balls or ass. General Barcel region here.
Barcel region.
The women spend a crazy amount of time at the ring post. Just busy work, basically. waiting for Petey's sweet DDT to come back in. Finish of the match. Jackie low blows Petey and Storm hits the last call super kick and gets the 3. Gail was somehow too slow to break it up despite being right beside them. And that'll do it in 7:52.
Not great at all.
So 9.5 out of 10.
I just thought it was completely pointless. I thought it would have been much better if the two lads just had a match against each other. Even if it is a fucking bull rope match, that'd be better than this. Thought having the girls out there was pointless. Other than getting to look at big tits when they came out, they served nothing.
Wouldn't it be like, yeah, we agree, we'll just head over here for the next 10 minutes? And that's
Pretty
what
much,
they did.
Yeah.
They took
much.
themselves out of the match.
I can't think of one spot from this match at all, other than the referee breaking up a pin when he shouldn't have. So the only notable thing for the match was a fuck up. And having 2 tag matches in a row where all 4 people were in the ring, come on. At least have a buffer match in the fucking middle, please. Didn't enjoy it at all.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought these two could have done a lot better than they did. They had this stupid fucking rope to contend with as well. And there's only so much you can do with this. You know, oh, I've choked him and I've hung him and now...
They run around the ref and they get a bit of cheap shot, eh?
They didn't even go around smacking the ring posts. Right?
One of them doesn't work.
Yeah, like James Storm was my big tip for the top of the time and he hasn't really progressed, which is a shame. His wrestling is still good. Petey Williams is fucking awesome.
He's a very good wrestler.
It really is. But as you say, there's not a huge amount of spots that I can recall.
He's also very reminiscent of a particular bar. Is Petey Williams.
That's nice. Stephen, might Twix... No, I'll just say it. Whoppers!
Oh my god.
Steve, what bear is Petey Williams?
Oh well, Jay. Petey Williams is wearing a lovely little red and white get-up. So he is, of course, one of those little kinder fingers. I don't know what they're called. He could also be a pack of Lucky Strikes.
Yes, he can.
Or Marlboro Red.
What is James Storm wearing?
He's wearing blue and white jocks. And he is a pack of Mayfair cigarettes.
Awesome. What smokes? What vapes is he? It's Scott Steiner and backstage reporter Letitia. I can't look at Scott Steiner normally. I'm just waiting for him to cut a promo on Samoa Joe at Sacrifice. The odds of me against you. Because you're fat.
He's the best, isn't he?
My defense is indefensible. He must know that's not a good thing.
Like on Impact, Christian was asking, oh, do you know who's going to be their tag partner? He was like, whoa, I look like Quasimodo. He's so awesome.
See, Kurt Angle will find out that my offense is impeccable, my defense is indefensible, and my love is insatiable. Just ask his wife.
Surprisingly, sadly, coherent promo where he says he's the biggest signing in TNA, not Kurt Angle, and his love is insatiable. Ask your wife. Christian busts in, fretting over how their problem solver lackey Tomko's in Japan on business, which is true. That very night, he was in New Japan winning the tag belts with Albert, aka Giant Bernard.
These are the little baby belts, aren't they?
They're legitimately belts. You could thread it through your jeans.
Oh.
In storyline, Tomko's using the absence to get a title shot from Christian. Steiner has none of it as well. So the Christian Coalition dissension.
Smell this.
But they're still going a few months later, though.
Yes. They rally together. They need AJ to be the glue.
I know this is completely out of the story arc, but you remember Tomko was gone for like 6 months, a year, and he made his return, got interviewed, he was interviewed backstage, and then like an hour later, a masked man about the size and shape of Tomko fucking interfered in the match. Who is it? It's like, fucking hell, lads.
This Tomko-shaped man. Match number 3 is the cross-face chicken wing submission match.
The Southern Fried Honey Baked Barbecue Crossface Chicken Wing Submission Match.
From TV land, it's Austin Starr versus Senshi.
So like this guy is hailed as being from TV land. What's that all about? Are they just having a go at Hollywood because it's run by homosexuals? Like,
they didn't explain why it's related to TV, but it's like my influences are Macho Man, Superstar Billy Graham, Huggy Bear. No, seriously.
What?
It was a gimmick that's destined to fail on the spot.
Absolutely.
This will fail.
It did.
Unnecessary. This
What
guy
a
is
waste.
so fucking good.
He's great.
Yes.
Better now, actually. He's fucking great.
He re-debuted at Bound for Glory in October, just gone, and won Kevin Nash's X Division bowling trophy. Super seriously. they actually...
What's the story with Nash coming out with the bowling trophy?
Lads, do you get this sign in the crowd? They cut to a sign.
Oh my, they focus on this sign. 2007 Southern Bible Belt, USA. That's what this is.
They cut to a sign that says, Austin's a homo.
And keep the camera on it for a number of seconds.
Wrestling is very different in 2017 than...
But you would never have gotten this in 2007 in the WWE. No way. Maybe in 2001.
No, 97, definitely.
Oh, 97 would be all over the place.
And in 87, you got Roddy Piper's Got AIDS, you know.
It's a submission match.
He's facing, oh, fuck yeah, Senshi.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, the World Warrior.
Mortal Kombat.
That was awesome. That went really long.
Yeah.
Like 30 seconds of Mortal Kombat.
Nice. I love his TNA song. It's one of my favorites from like any gimmick and character.
It's straight out of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
And he stands like he's in a fight animation.
Yeah.
You know, it's awesome.
And he has the best voice in the history of wrestling.
For such a small guy as well, like he has a deep booming voice.
This is Senshi in Midway Studios here for Midway's TNA Impact. And all you can do is be ready.
Wasn't he signed for like the second season of Tough Enough after Daniel Bryan did really well? Here we go. Hit me with your knowledge stick.
Yeah, no, as Senshi, otherwise known as Low-Key, or WWE NXT fans might know him as Caval. The protege of Cool.
That's right.
I have to bring it up. Gully Bully, the promo on Caval in NXT, they're like, shit, we just won't tell you, and you go out and sink or swim. Michael McGillicuddy thought he'd won season 2 of NXT, and they sent him out there, and they said, and the winner, it's Caval. And they just give the mic to Hennig, here, go cut a promo, you've lost. Just the error of McGillicuddy, buddy, you know? But he's like, he just cuts a Jerry Seinfeld promo on Caval. It's like, hey, Caval, what's to do with that wetsuit? And what about that name? Isn't that flute? If you look it up, it says flute. And like your mother's friend.
State of your hair, mate.
There is so much you need to splice in here.
This run is going to be great, lads.
It was iconic. The era of Gully Bully.
From this moment on, this will be the moment, starting now, of the genesis of McGillicuddy.
And what happened? Why the fuck did Caval go? What happened? He just said, fuck this?
I'm pretty sure he just quit because it was bollocks, right?
Yeah, he won season 2 that granted him any title shot he wanted. And he ended up taking an IC title shot on a pay-per-view a couple of months down the line and then lost. And he was like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a shame though. It's like, oh, could you not stick it out?
Yeah.
And you'll eventually get something good.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, he's so good. He was such a good wrestler. So different. Like, there's no one like him out there.
What's the deal with that wetsuit you're wearing? You going swimming? Fully. Whose boy is this? Boy for sale. Boy for sale.
You wear a wetsuit to the ring. Were you going swimming? What does that mean? Caval. It means flute, I think, right? Look it up. It means flute.
So it's your standard X Division fast-paced match, but can only end in a submission via crossface chicken wing. The X Division itself, it's not about weight limits, it's about no limits.
And weight limits.
Which generally meant high-flying smaller guys, but we can book bigger guys in it too, mostly Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe?
You're fat! Can't even see your veins!
Do you have veins? Rape the back. Back rake. Gorgeous takeover suplex. Float over, but Austin Starr can't get the chicken wing in. Just thinking, what star is he? STO knee gutbuster and sweep into a sploosh pendulum elbow. Oh, it's so amazing.
It's really good.
And then fucking duckers. Bob Backlund comes out to support Senshi due to throwing handbags with Aries. Senshi with Daniel Bryan's kick, springboard kick, misses with a Shining Wizard, but leaves his foot on the opponent and a back kick.
He's so awesome.
So good. Don West immediately makes it uncool by saying, he's there, he's here, wham! World Warrior with an arm drag, running Finn Balor missile dropkick, but Aries is still too fresh for the Warrior's way. Starr pushes the ref into the ropes to knock Senshi to the outside. Gorgeous tope suicida, followed by equally gorgeous twisting splash from the outside in.
Yeah, it's lovely. Very impressive.
Because I was thinking he's going to jump in, and I was like, oh, it's like Mark Merrow. I was like, this is nothing like Mark Merrow. I'm sorry, Austin, you know. Crowd pop for Starr attempting the brainbuster, but it's reversed. Low-key charges into the ring turnbuckle, and Starr locks in a chicken wing and down to the mat with a body scissors. Backlund knows the end is nigh, which is how Nordies say now.
Noi?
And correctly points out that Senshi's feet are under the ropes, which is just as good as on the ropes. The rules are upheld. This is a crossface chicken wing submission match.
Yeah.
There are no rope breaks.
Yeah, I would agree.
So you're saying in a submission match with, say, Angle Benoit, there was no rope breaks?
There shouldn't be. Because if there's a rope break, you count to 5. What are you going to do? DQ him?
Very good, Jay.
As Aries is preoccupied getting the "you're out of here" to no avail, Senshi sneakily applies the crossface chicken wing and gets the quick tap in 11:09. So what do you think? Match number 3. What do you think, Steve?
I kind of thought that this was going to be hampered by the crossface chicken wing win only. But no, 2 really good workers ended up having a pretty fucking solid match. I wish they didn't bring out Backlund at the end, but they still had a great fucking match. Senshi is awesome.
Yeah, I loved it. I knew I would. It's got Aries, it's got Senshi, it's got Backlund. What's there not to like? Aries is a sort of total package. You know, he's got charisma, mic skills, incredible talent. Senshi, his promos were okay, not amazing.
It's mostly the voice that's awesome.
Exactly. So yeah, it had everything. It's fast paced. It's some nice mat based stuff. There's some high flying stuff. It was great. Loved it.
Well, I thought it was odd that the face pretty much had to cheat to win here. Aries actually looks stronger of the two and ambushes the face so he can put the chicken wing on Backlund. And TNA just says, yeah, turnabout's fair play. Which is very odd to immediately get his heat back. I love both of these lads. These are 2 crazy good wrestlers, but I think it was just a very good match. JB in the toilet pimps TNA Mobile again and chats to the phenomenal AJ Styles. He says you can't go left or right or even up. The only way is down.
Twirling towards freedom.
It's like, how are you supposed to go down without going up first, though? It's just like jumping a hole. It actually reminds me of the Macho Man on TNT back in the day in '86. Like, he was on a therapist couch and he does word association with the therapist. He's like, gun. Fastest gun in the West. East, South, and North. Point south.
Yes.
And then he's like, sucker. Ha, sucker, Hulk Hogan. That was an easy one I got to.
Sucker.
Sucker, Hulk Hogan. That was a good one. Yeah, I beat you on that one, man. He's the biggest one of all.
They don't let them cut promos like that anymore. It's so sad.
He's not even feuding with Hogan. This is him in the IC championship. He's still taking shots at Hogan.
It's how it should be.
Yes.
It really is.
Everyone should be focused on the champion.
Yeah.
Female.
Female, yeah. The race of people that admire and lust after the Macho Man Randy Savage. Ask Elizabeth.
911 operator, what's your emergency?
It's full on Russo.
Oh, yeah.
Next up, VKM face Christy Hemi's mystery tag team. Christy Hemi.
See that idiot walk.
See that idiot talk. That's so offensive.
She was never booked to be anything other than tits and legs. Like, it's well, you know, she has great tits and legs. So.
Yeah, dressed like a massive tramp. I was like, get that Gansey on.
Yes, it was Christy Hemi who Jay used to point out. You know, she's very nice.
Gorgeous.
Jay be like, she's looking a bit slutty, and that's where the whole
Christmas Gansey.
Yeah, the Christmas Gansey came from.
Yeah, like she's wearing torn up clothes, showing up plenty of skin, fake tits hanging out. She looks like she's just gotten plowed and she's on the, you know, the walk of shame. But instead of going home and getting a shower, she just went to work. Like, fucking
Spanish shower. Off to work.
Yeah, she's immediately interrupted by Voodoo Kin Mafia's rape song.
Yeah, what's the story with that?
Bring, bring! They're in my face.
Gong, 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 gong.
Yeah, the gimmick here is Christy is sick of male chauvinism in TNA, and that's the outfit to do it in. Did you know non-wrestler Christy Hemi was paid more than any of the other knockouts in TNA? Because she was from WWE and she did Playboy. Over $100,000 per year.
Nice.
Honky claims that in 2011 she got 3 years at $175K. I don't know why Honky would know that. But
yeah.
Meanwhile, Gail Kim's earning roughly how much per appearance?
$1,000.
600.
Jesus Christ, that's at 300.
Oh.
It was only when she was able to renegotiate and bump us up to 600.
Fuck.
We're talking a max of 19 grand a year.
Jesus.
Like, no wonder, what's her name? Bicycle. Scrappy Doo, blonde, knockout.
Fucking
Scrappy-Doo. Taylor Wilde.
Taylor Wilde.
Taylor Wilde, TNA Knockouts champion. Bicycle. Yeah, her theme song. She quit after a fan recognised her when she was working her side job at Sunglasses Hut.
That's really sad.
She took a calculated risk. I'm sure she thought it would be extremely unlikely somebody would recognise her.
Should have worn those sunglasses. Yeah, anyway, she might do a few matches, but they're gimmick matches. She's not a proper wrestler. It really gets the difference between ex-WWE, WWF wrestlers and then homegrown talent. That's a crazy discrepancy, you know? You think the chauvinist gimmick would get over in the backwater. And it does. People cheer 43-year-old Kip James.
You see, I like my women in the kitchen, in the bathroom.
We've heard this before.
What in the world?
In the yard, and especially in the bedroom.
I know about women's careers. Before you go up, you must go down.
Yeah, that's funny.
Actually, it is quite funny. But I do not approve of it one bit.
No,
I'm not saying no, of course not. But
hilarious, you laugh at it, not
exactly.
You know.
But he's obviously doing this. This is tongue in cheek. He's not like
I know. I get
he
the
knows
feeling
this is
he
nonsense.
I don't know. I get the feeling he's a massive racist. Sorry, massive sexist. Probably racist.
Yeah.
Christy Hemme, last month against all odds, she had a tuxedo match versus big fat oily guy.
Is this like TNA's rip-off version of him?
Of the big fat oily guy in WWE,
my
yeah.
God.
This is what 2007 was really like. It was hilarious though, because in 2006 there's still We Are Wrestling. Big fat oily guy gets stripped down to his red gear, and then he goes out to the ring and there's a wrestling fan with "This is wrestling." I was like, oh mate, put it away.
Yes.
Christy laughs it off, announcing her tag team, Antonio and Romeo, the Heartbreakers.
Yay.
Yeah, are they anything? Who's going to cheer for this? Two lads that this crowd have never seen before.
I mean, they were in the WWE for
they were.
a cup of coffee. Like
Cup of coffee in the big time, yeah.
I can tell you where else these lads have been. To the steroid shop. Holy shit.
Jersey Shore douchers, the Robbie E 3 years before Robbie E.
Yeah, pretty much.
The Heartthrobs from WWE lasted a year on the main roster, went straight to Heat before getting canned. One pay-per-view though, Backlash 2005, as part of Tag Team Turmoil. Congrats, lads.
Was this a brand split pay-per-view?
Yes.
Oh, seriously.
Definitely Big Bang Spirit Squad off these guys.
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of overly happy, energetic young guys. They're shouting, but they're not cutting a promo. Lots of spunk. Cut to an absolutely mortified, disgusted woman in the crowd.
Yeah.
See the face on her. She's a... I can't believe you booked this.
Just like the lovely fans earlier who were calling Austin Aries a homo, they decided to start chanting that these lads suck dick. Lovely people in Florida.
This is the
See us in 3 weeks.
Yeah, like Jersey Shore douchers. Like, how are they going to stand up for Christy Hemme and women's rights? You know?
Yeah.
BG James with the shake, rattle and roll sends Antonio to the middle rope. A follow-up bum tackle. Antonio handed Don West some bling. West notes he's not sure what that means. It's a gay joke. TNA calls the match nice go behind. Pardon the expression. Like, you expect us to do that, not TNA, you know. There's a long bout of not saying which Heartbreaker is in the ring. I.e., you don't know which Heartbreaker is in the ring. And then suddenly both of them say, oh, Romeo. Oh, that's Romeo there with the...
muscles. Yeah.
So Romeo is the taller one with shorter hair. Thank you, headsets and lads in the back. Romeo works over Kip on the second rope, the most dangerous rope. And he's like, Christy, it's for you. And Christy says, thank you.
That's for you!
He then does a flip to the outside, which BG escapes, and it looks a bit shit. Hemme theatrically low blows Kip, selling her arm. As Kip reaches into his jocks, he was wearing a cup.
Genius.
He wanted to see you pee. Hemme earns her paycheck as Kip shoves it in her face.
This is gross. That's been resting on his balls as he's been wrestling for the last 10 fucking minutes. And then to just top it off, he decides to drag her around the ring by the hair and slap her arse.
I was thinking, like, A, when will he get the chance again? And B, it's his gimmick that he's booked in to be a chauvinist. So, Kip James hands Christy to TNA's version of Test, which is Lance Hoyt.
The old tramp stamp himself.
That's tramp stamp Hoyt. Oh my God.
Who carries her out. The commentators applaud the camera work, which was a heck of a view right up Christy's hole.
It was great.
That's a heck of a view. I mean,
camera work.
This match died a death once Hemme left. It just ended now, please.
The Heartbreakers hit the double STO knee and face plants, but nobody believes they will win. Fans just start chanting VKM, the heels. Romeo misses an assisted splash, and Antonio takes a horrendous stunner/cutter. A stutter. The big finish, hot tag to BG James, and the Outlads destroy the wrestlers maybe 20 years their junior. Kip just leaves the ring, awkwardly standing on the hard camera apron, Hawk style, SummerSlam 92. Knowing BG will easily hit the pump handle slam, no bumming, and the clean 3 in a difficult 9:02.
Yeah, I did not really enjoy this match. The Heartbreakers were kind of jobbers, didn't care. VKM at this point were just phoning this in, like they didn't really try. They just Lots of punch, couple of kicks, not selling, not really doing much, no storyline to the match. Once Temmie left, I stopped caring, and I wish it was over sooner.
Yeah, it was a nothing match. I still think VKM had something to give. We probably saw the pump handle slam before, did we? Capital Carnage, maybe?
Oh, yeah, the bumming. I like the bumming.
Yeah. There was none of that here, so
no
I
bumming.
was turned right off. So, yeah, nothing going on here, Jay.
Post-match, Furious Hemi comes out to berate her tag team, bringing an S&M riding crop, showing how much of a tramp she is, as VKM laugh at her. Obviously, VKM, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, Voodoo Kin Mafia. Haha, Russo, isn't he hilarious? Fuck me, though, this match. Classic Russo, yeah?
Yeah.
It's fair to say Vince Russo hates women, because VKM's gimmick here is the valiant babyface chauvinist
who defend the rights of us men
and win clean after embarrassing the woman. She'd actually tried again with the Bashams, but they were fired after no showing a live event, and then that's that then.
Oh.
In the bowels of the building, Abyss, very much like Mankind used to do, is sitting down rocking in a baking tray cage. Christian tells him he cares from the cockles of his heart, even in the subcockle region, and gives him a signed picture of himself to replace the one he had of his dad, Jim Mitchell.
From the Instant Classic. Never pinned, never submitted, never beaten. If you don't know, now you know. Christian Cage, etc., etc., etc. There you go.
In return, he asks for help with Samoa Joe, and Abyss surprises him with an agreement-style fist bump.
Christian was great in this promo.
Hilarious. He breaks out the "if you don't know."
No, you know.
That's a Scottish Canadian there.
Next up, it's a 2 out of 3 falls match for the X Division Championship. It's
Lynn
versus X Division champion Chris Sabin. It's old school age and experience versus cocky, immature vanity. The 43-year-old versus the 24-year-old. Chris Sabin's the heel and Jerry Lynn is the babyface. He's an old babyface. Sabin, Final Fantasy, obviously. Spicy. Does an old man gimmick where he come up to Jim Cornette and be like, "What's that you say, sonny? Jiminy Cricket. Oh, 26 skidoo." You know, it was awesome. What wasn't awesome was legit coming out in a diaper.
Who did that?
Sabin.
Oh.
Very much the precursor to New Year's Baby. Man, Jerry Lynn's theme. Awesome. That's all you need. Jerry Lynn started wrestling for AWA in 1988 when he was 25. It's weird. It's just as it seems he's always had the old man that can still go gimmick.
Even when he's like 26.
Heatwave 98 versus Ratface Knacker, he was 35. His proper run in the Fed in 2001, he was 38. He was a TNA original, 2002, in and out of the company. And he won a 5-way X Division ladder match on Impact to be the number 1 contender. Sabin kicks off by WCWing Lynn. Awesome, classic old school heel stuff. He bails to the outside, Lynn follows, and then goes back into the ring and attacks Lynn when he comes in. 10 on 10. Something big happens in the crowd, TNA chants, and that has nothing to do with this match.
It must have been a fight because everyone looked around and then your mate with the rally towels start going mental. So something big happened.
Yeah, it's to their credit. Like, they don't headlock and wait it out. They still wrestle, you know?
Yeah.
Referee Earl Hebner, he's reffing this match. He crossed the line. Steve, what was he fired from WWE?
Oh my God. From stealing t-shirts and selling them from the back of his car with his fucking brother after live events.
10 on 10.
Legend.
What were they thinking? They're very recognisable, considering they're twins as well, and they look like Earl Hebner.
Sabin, with a big head of steam, runs into a big boot. Lynn with a beautiful big tornado DDT and gets the first fall at 5:45.
Sabin's sell from the DDT was gorgeous. It was Rob Van Dam-esque.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like beautiful. The way he popped up afterwards. Awesome. Jerry chant as Lynn starts dancing to mock Chris Sabin. The X Division champ grabs a breather in the crowd. Lynn springboards out over the railing and plunges Sabin, smacking into the buckety wall.
Ouch. Looks fantastic.
Lynn rolls through a Brett's rope Hurricane Rana, but kicks out. Sabin follows up with a spin kick and into a gut wrench, like up onto his shoulder, and then turn him over and into a DDT. Oh, sploosh.
Awesome. Some gorgeous wrestling in this match.
Sabin charges onto the middle turnbuckle. Lynn springboards off the middle rope into a sunset flip. But Sabin powerbombs Lynn and uses the ropes to 1, 2, 3 and even it up at 9:55.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Sabin wins fall number 2.
So there's no timeout period between falls. So Sabin unsuccessfully goes for a couple of near falls. Pin you, 1, 2, nah, pin, pin, Like, it never works, like, going for multiple pin falls. In kayfabe, like, it's actually a wear down, like, as the opponent has to expend energy to kick out every time. But they don't mention that. But it'd be hilarious if it worked, if you tried pinning him 5 times and then on the 5th.
It worked.
He just said, oh, fuck this. And that was that. And the match.
Yeah.
A hilarious spot where Sabin springboards into a nothing, pauses and just stands there for a heel fist drop and then misses. Reversing a corner splash into Snake Eyes, Sabin hits a massive running face wash into a cradle shock finisher, but Lynn kicks out. Finish of the match. Jeez, another run in.
Do you not just put someone over? Please, let someone win and someone lose.
Some Christopher Daniels shaped bald lad in a Sting mask.
It's the most obvious thing in the world.
Like, put one of those Mexican masks with the hair, you know, fucking
Yeah.
Psychosis or one of those lads.
Yeah. Steve, would you say Chris Daniels' body type is quite unique?
No, let's not be getting into this now, Steve.
And if you don't know, now you know.
His gait is unique.
You can spot him a mile off, though, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
So this causes the distraction. Sabin hits the cradle shock and the win, meaning Lynn gets the save face, and every match has had outside interference so far. Fuck me. Yeah, 12-18 this one went.
This was a good match. These boys can wrestle. Holy shit. Jerry Lynn at 43 is great. He got better with age. Like, I think he's much better in this run. After TNA, he went to Ring of Honor and he won the world title. Had some fabulous matches there as well. Sabin's great. He's very smooth. Plays a real good cocky heel. He's a bit skinny looking though, isn't he? Like, he doesn't look like he poses much of a threat, really. And as Kurt Angle was known to say, scruffy looking.
He's very
scruffy looking,
isn't he?
Yeah.
That should be part of his gimmick if he's going to do it.
He doesn't ooze
Championship material.
or
he is a big
stardom,
scruffball,
you know? But yeah, anyway, great fucking match. Some whopper moves. I think the match kind of got better as it went along. It built up really well. Bit of a letdown that they just couldn't have a clean finish, but I'm a fan of Chris Daniels, so I wasn't that pissed off. Loved it. Wish it was longer.
Woo.
Great match. I like the dynamic of the wily, I use the term loosely, vet and the young upstart.
Why?
Man. Fantastic stuff, and highly recommend watch this match in full if you can.
Yes, agreed. Post-match, the masked man hits the Angel's wings. It's Chris Daniels. He lost the belt in January to Sabin, and after attacking the champ, he goes after Lynn, hitting a last rites, healing out on everyone, much like Neville did in his heel return. Sporting new beard and tribal face paint.
It's not quite a cock on his face, but
it's a trial run though. You know? JB is with Jim Cornette when he's not harassing women at the Dairy Queen drive-thru. You know about that? He's at the Dairy Queen and they're waiting for 15 minutes and they go up to collect their order and the woman says, "Oh, I thought it was a joke order." And he's like, "What? I've been waiting for 15 minutes and I haven't got my extra cheese cheeseburger?" And he fucking gets out of the car and, you know, puts his head into the drive-thru window.
Hey! We ordered the damn shit! Because we're hungry, not because we wanted to fuck around, so don't cuss me! You fucking ugly bitch!
Maybe we've been taping. Yes.
He just goes, fucking bananas at it.
I love it.
Amazing.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to take him seriously though. You'd be, go away, Jim. Would you go on?
He
Run
has a
along.
very comical voice.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Big smiles all round as he puts over all the gimmick matches. And hey, there is a new one coming next month at Lockdown. Hemi comes in saying, ooh, watch it. And Cornette says she could be his secretary. Do you take dictation? It was like, kablamo. That was very clever. I don't approve.
I just have written here, this company hates women, is run by one.
You know when WWE have their backstage vignettes, they make the wrestlers hold their expression for an unnatural amount of time?
It's the opposite here, isn't it? Freeze frame, and we're out.
That's what they do, because Cornette just looks at JV and they're like, oh. Extra cheese cheeseburger for you, Jim.
Wow, Kurt Angle.
Keep the change.
Thanks.
Whoa, what's gotten into this pizza? Hey!
Come on. They square off. Tomato drop kicks. Pepper scoops him into an airplane spin. Big slap. Fresh pepper! Pizza outlet. The taste that screams fresh.
Oh, man, that was beautiful.
As the steel truss lowers, it's Elevation X, AJ Styles versus Rhino for the first time. And it kind of follows on from TNA's Ultimate X match. See, in Ultimate X, there's ropes in an X shape above the ring, and you get to the center, you kind of, like with monkey bars, you kind of jump on and you hold on to it and you go scoot into the middle.
Or spoot.
Elevation X is a scaffold match, as you can stand on a steel truss above the ring, and it's in an X shape. The match is built on someone taking a bump off it, which is how you lose the match as well. They got the gimmick over by dropping watermelon, lol, and
a very old television
to show off the dangerous height. Although they land on the floor and not in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's plenty of space outside of the ring to fall on as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This bout comes about as AJ Styles lost his X Division title opportunity, blaming Daniels, and Rhino tried to reconcile on his behalf. Styles says, no thanks, but let's me and you feud instead. And that's what they've been doing for the last two pay-per-views, which stand at 1-1. Rhino, spelt with an I this time. We can't tell because he's wearing his t-shirt, but didn't he?
Why?
Because he had the Rhino with the I, but he just cut the Y into an I, so he didn't have to buy a new pair of jocks. TNA, TNA, TNA.
And his opponent from Gainesville, Georgia, the phenomenal Starr.
Oh, AJ Styles theme. Just, I am. Yeah. Fucking awesome. I miss it so much as well, because his new song, it's like a Reverend Devon.
Yeah, he should have some kind of a rock song. I just don't think rap suits the AJ Styles character.
Yeah. Cocky AJ puts on his gloves as we cut to a plant praying in the crowd.
There's lots of them.
Stop insulting our intelligence.
I was like, man, makes me yearn for the days where that guy had DDP's book, marking out, going, hey. The lads start brawling and DW gets over, it's already wobbly. It's like he's playing up, yeah, it's dangerous because this is a buckety piece of shit.
I actually thought it was going to be a lot more buckety and rickety. It wasn't moving that much. Fairly solid. Fairly sturdy.
Referee Slick Johnson. Yeah. Kind of peacocking here. You know, big shiny bald head and his
shorts.
Football shorts, yeah.
Still think it's the image of David Draymond, the singer from Disturbed. Image of him.
He brings attention to himself.
Is that not the exact opposite as to what a referee is supposed to do?
Absolutely.
Blend into the background.
Yeah, because you think he's going to interfere in the match. Because he is a gimmicked referee.
Yeah.
Slick Johnson here, that was his gimmick in WCW, that he was a corrupt ref that takes bribes, you know?
Oh, okay.
And then in TNA, he did it as well. It was his best storyline, 2008, where he started taking sex bribes from the knockouts.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, if you can get it.
Fucking right.
Madison Rayne banged him, so he would count Angelina Love and get her the knockouts belt.
Ah.
It's very nice of Madison Rayne, isn't it?
Yeah. He's taking one for the team.
Literally, yeah. Yeah, slick anyway. He plays it straight here. The lads start brawling on the outside, including a phenomenal forearm from the guardrail. Oh fuck, we're just going straight to it. The athlete Styles sprightly scales the truss and waits for Rhino to come join him above the ring. Rhino, he's not enjoying this at all. He hesitantly, eventually starts climbing as we cut to a cowering woman afraid to look.
Yeah. WWE nowadays would have a field day with these plants.
Oh my god.
Reactions everywhere.
Yes, both competitors get on top of the X, the Elevation X. They really got over the precariousness of being that high up so well. On the walkway above, Rhino's fucking hating this as he immediately just gets down and sprawls on all fours.
I love it. He's crawling on his belly, the safest possible way to move across. AJ is like 10 feet away from him and he's bouncing on his toes and he's ready for it and he just looks like he is supremely confident. Love it.
Fantastic, showing the opposite reactions to being so high up in the air. Rhino backs up into the corner and heel AJ spits in his face. Awesome.
Yeah, and then Rhino just fires up.
AJ dodging to another part of the X and doing a running missile dropkick. AJ does some great I might fall, oh I lost my footing spots as well, which is really awesome. We go to part 2 of the match where AJ goes into the X truss, lying down and hiding himself. Rhino does a shit job at the pantomime, where is AJ?
Yeah.
I mean, they're telling you where he is, and you're walking the opposite direction of where they're telling you he is.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't even do the WrestleMania 7 point.
And listen to the crowd.
Which is the point of wrestling, to involve the crowd. It's like, have you never seen a blindfold match? We will see your blindfold match next month.
Yes.
I didn't understand this spot. AJ doesn't need to rest. This is his match. He should be battering Rhino all the way. Instead, he's hiding. He doesn't need to hide.
Yeah, he's got the advantage up in the air.
Yeah.
Rhino should have battered him to send him into hiding, you know. He finally does the point in the right direction and the crowd cheer and grabs AJ to come back onto the truss. Part 3 is both of them straddling arms of the X. AJ fails at even sniffing a Styles clash and takes a back bump. That was never going to happen.
No.
As Rhino, he is freaking road dogging this match, like, hanging on to it for dear life. Styles breaks out some Fuji Freedom Powder because one gimmick per match isn't enough. Rhino knocks it up into AJ's face and fans a flip out at Rhino motioning for the gore. That's really great anticipation here. Of course, it turns out to be the shittest, safest gore in history.
Oh my god. AJ bumps about 2 seconds early.
Well, yeah, what can you do, you know? AJ teeters, hanging from the truss. Rhino stomps on AJ's hand, who takes a flat back bump onto the mat below. And there we go. Rhino wins in 9:05.
I really enjoyed this match. I was dreading it. I was like, it's going to be all gimmick. It's going to be all panto playing to the crowd. It kind of was, but they won me over. So well done to both guys.
I like the idea of the match in that it does look legitimately dangerous, which is rare in wrestling, really.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, people are just going to be punchy kicky for 10 minutes and then somebody's going to fall off very safely, and that's what happened. And that's all you're doing, waiting for the big spot. I was a bit underwhelmed because AJ was hanging on. And I don't want anyone to hurt themselves, but
of course not.
It was underwhelming.
Kind of surprised there, Steve. I thought you'd enjoy this match and enjoy the pageantry of it, you know? They cut away pretty quick to the next video package, but thankfully they come back to AJ so we can sell the huge bump and his stretchered out. I had great fun watching it. I love the polar opposites of confidence, of being that high up. AJ's loving it and Rhino shot his cacks. Only failure with the where is he spot that Rhino completely flumped. But I love this. I thought it was so entertaining. That was great. Very wrestling panto. And it was great.
Yeah. This should have been the only gimmick match on the show.
Yes. Well, no, you can't drop last rights.
No, well, of course. That's the type of match you build a whole show around, a whole company around.
Next up is Scott Steiner versus Kurt Angle. Big Papa Pump joined TNA at Destination X last year as Jeff Jarrett's bodyguard before leaving in August as they couldn't come to terms with extending his contract. He just went to the Indies and they ended up re-signing in January, so he's only gone for a couple of months. They kayfabed his short absence, saying he was given the bump so TNA could sign Kurt Angle, which is a pretty great kayfabe reason.
Yeah, it's good.
Scotty returned at last month's Against All Odds to cost Angle his title shot, so we're off to the races. Mixed emotions seeing Kurt Angle in TNA. He's my favourite in-ring wrestler of all time, but he was released from WWE because they'd worried he'd die on their watch and he refused to go to rehab.
Yeah.
So they just cut him. And instead of him fixing himself and going to rehab, he's like, right, I'm going to work. And Dixie's like, oh, get here, I've got a bag of painkillers, let's rock and roll. You know, when WWE are worried about you and cut you, it's serious.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Dixie, no qualms hiring a physical train wreck. But he continued to wrestle the same awesome high-octane matches with TNA for years. Like, it took him 6-7 years to show signs of slowing down. So maybe WWE were wrong on that one.
Maybe. Like, he had some incredible matches in TNA. He had great matches with Ken Kennedy.
And Matt Morgan. Angle's motivation for the match, besides being cheap-shotted, is that he came to TNA to make it better, while Scotty returned for greed. Steiner said he'd melt down Angle's gold medals to see how much he could get for him. Awesome. So Scott Steiner enters the ring. I think it's cool that in wrestling you can't copyright a police siren. So like in WCW and then WWF and now in TNA, he basically has the same song. Just a siren with a beat behind it.
Who's laughing now? Us.
Just thought as soon as he came out, it's like the big question: is this the match with that sell?
Oh yeah,
with that finish. Let's find out. Kick off. Angle headbutts Steiner. Awesome spot, just like he did this Samoa Joe on his TNA debut. And Steiner gets busted open. They take it very slow, with Angle out-wrestling Scotty, who takes a breather on the outside. You take steroids chant, which has to be aimed at Steiner as Angle's on painkillers.
Scott looked kind of slim here, like nowhere near as big as back in his heyday in WCW or his 2003 run in the Fed. A lot fucking smaller.
After a big boot reversal, Angle mounts him and plows him in the face to open up that cut. Oh shit, man. Scotty is gassed immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, and 2006 Scotty hates moving. Tons of chin locks. Angle has to kind of wrestle around him. Force out of a Steiner recliner, but I'm not going up on your shoulders, so Angle just has to take him to the mat instead. I'll just fall over instead.
Yeah.
Like. Steiner's bollocks. He's like, throw me to the ropes, I'm not coming back. You come to me.
This should be taught in fucking Wrestling 101. Get Irish whipped into the ropes. Stop. Hold the ropes. You're grand. Not a bother on you.
So Scotty back body drops Angle to the outside, throw to the railings and create some distance so I can grab a breath. It's like, Angle, you're on the outside, I'll run in the ring so I can get 20 seconds off. You know? Angle hits 3 rolling German suplexes. And man, Scott Steiner must have hated that.
You know, obviously it's not just his image that's changed, Scott Steiner. He's gone from an athletic kind of mat wrestling impressive athlete to essentially like a lumbering heavyweight. You wouldn't recognize the wrestler in terms of looks or in-ring ability anymore. It's so strange how he's changed. Like I would love the Big Papa Pump gimmick with his old wrestling ability. I think it'd be fucking awesome.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Because he was basically Kurt Angle in 93. Like,
yeah.
You know? Angle slam drops Angle on his neck.
Oh my god, it was so fucking high and he just came straight down. I cringed at that one.
And into a Steiner recliner, but eats an Angle slam and into an ankle lock himself. Time for the finish. Steiner sets up Kurt for a super Bimmy to Jimmy suplex, but Angle counters into a sunset flip and... yeah, it is.
Oh, Jesus, Scott.
Scott Steiner, fucking Bret Hart, Spider-Man's this one. Waiting until there is zero momentum, and then releases, and it takes the 1, 2, 3.
Then gently floats down for the pin. Like a feather.
12:42, that's longer than the 2 out of 3 falls X Division match.
What was he going for here? Was he trying to make a spot or just trying to break his fall?
Yeah, I'm not taking that bump.
Yeah?
But I don't even think it would have been much of a bump because Angle, it was a really slick sunset flip. Like, you know, he got up high and kind of rolled down his back and was on the mat before he kind of pulled him. So he was only going to fall a couple of feet. It's just like bumping. But he just shat himself. He was like, no fucking way am I taking this. Hilarious. And then he sits on Kurt's face near him.
Jeez, man. If this is the match you're having with Kurt fucking Angle,
yeah,
you're done. That was weak chance. Fill the arena.
Really?
And Starr wipe. And we're out. Backstage with Samoa Joe. He cuts the old Psycho Sid promo.
It's hilarious. He's still doing them to this day. He cuts the quiet part and then he shouts and then he goes back to being
Well, he
quiet
usually,
again.
I was checking, he maximum 2-word shouty. Normally 1 word, so it'd be like, for 2 years, I am set free. If you decide.
Is someone poking him in the bum?
And if you decide to come down to that ring, if you decide to stop me from my destiny.
Oh, yeah, Steve. It's time.
They did the mash. They did the monster mash.
The monster mash.
It was a graveyard smash.
They did the mash.
It caught on in a flash.
They did the mash.
They did the monster mash.
Abyss versus Sting. It's a last rites Fire Russo match. Darkness imprisoning me. All that I see. Absolute horror. I adore when wrestling creatives just decide to redo backstories. Like Kane, he was a jock and he went out with Katie Vick.
Yeah.
Storyline for another day. But they do it with Abyss here. They decide, you know, his backstory of being a monster isn't enough. Like, let's flesh that out, you know?
We have to add layers.
Like an onion.
Yeah.
This has been going on for months. Sting thought Abyss was just a tortured monster under the spell of evil Jim Mitchell and could save him and free him from his past by airing his dirty laundry on Impact. Abyss, real name Chris Parks, went to jail for 6 years because he put 3 bullets in the back of a man, which put him into a coma. But who was this man? His father. However, this didn't set him free, it just put Abyss into a murderous rage. His manager Jim Mitchell retorted saying Abyss is a violent animal that he's domesticated to do his evil bidding.
But didn't they have a storyline where Jim Mitchell was his dad? Twice.
Steve, that's the big twist. You'll never guess who's your dad. They reveal it's his dad next week.
They retconned it.
Then they do it again, in like September or
that's
something.
What, Judas Messias comes in, who's his real son.
Oh my God.
Why would you do 2 Who's Your Dad angles in the same year? With the same... I know who it is. You told us.
Wrestling fans are really stupid.
I have to say, Sting cutting a promo from the inside of a coffin, that was pretty cool looking.
I thought this promo package was the best of the whole night. I thought it was really good. And the music was very like Gears of War music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to rewind as TNA explains the rules of this match, which is always a good sign. It's a casket match, which they call a deathbed. Instead of the casket being at ringside, you got to call for it to be lowered. And then it's same as usual, stick your opponent in it and shut the lids and it gets raised again. They've added candelabras to each of the 6 ring posts and we get a shot of a fan sign TNA We Are Wrestling.
What a time to have that sign.
Like, is it the director taking the piss? Get a shot of that guy while the fucking wibbly wobblies are on the ring post.
The wibbly He wonders. Dixie Carter, spare no expense for this match, sweetheart, yeah?
She put like candles on a plunger. Sting comes out to his TNA Seek and Destroy ripoff.
And then it just goes over and over again.
Jump. Sting's looking really sprightly as he jumps ribs first into the guard railing. No fucking about. Just there you go, big bump right off the spot. Yeah, I love these random Halloween store props. They're just the best. Scorpion death drop and Abyss grabs a candelabra and smashes it into Sting's face.
As cheap and as badly made as this thing was, it still did a number on his head.
It cut him way open. Abyss calls for the casket to be lowered, and it does, as the house lights go down in favour of spooky blue spotlights, complete with random dry ice spurting, and Fire Russo chants echo throughout the building.
Yes, and they kind of build as it drops down more. So, you know, at first, the fans are just kind of slack-jawed looking at this bollocks happening right in front of them. And then as it comes down and they see how shit and cheap and just bollocks this is, they get more angry and more riled up. The hatred for Russo just boils over. It was also like 90 seconds into the match. Like, the match hasn't had time to breathe at all.
And you could see right there the Monster Abyss pulling the...
My God, look at that! And then it lands in the middle of the ring, so they're working in this like area the size of like a single bed. And it's just shit.
It stays there as well. Hijacking / fan chants have become way more prominent in modern times, especially since Daniel Bryan, you know, and just revolt to get him into the main event of WrestleMania. But in 2007, this was exceptionally noteworthy. Russo wasn't on screen either, you know, as opposed to New Blood and all that stuff. So it would actually take a lot for fans to give out about a writer on TV.
And how did he resist the urge to come on screen after this? You know, I need to be on Impact, opening and closing that show.
I need to write this wrong.
Give me the belt.
Dixie was in attendance and was furious. Her reaction? She said if she ever heard Fire Russo chants again, someone's gonna be fired. Except Vince Russo. Officially, TNA dismissed the chants as smart marks trying to hijack the show, make the show about themselves, and to blame Jarrett and Mantell, not Russo. But later, Dutch Mantell confirmed that it was Russo who wrote it, and Russo lied to Dixie's face about it.
Unbelievable. Also, the fans also chanted bullshit.
Yeah, so this match is pretty much dead on arrival. How apropos. Apropos, Steve.
Very good. Very highbrow, yeah.
You should have a basic grasp of Latin if you're doing a wrestling podcast. The two press on. TNA have a few close-up shots of Sting's crimson mask. It's so nasty.
Yeah, it looks great with the paint.
Yeah. Abyss brings in the tombstone, but Stinger puts on a scorpion deathlock. Abyss taps, but sure, it's a last rites match. Sting cracks the chair on Abyss and sets up the tombstone against Abyss's head. Then Sting gets the baseball bat and smashes the piece of shit tombstone.
He hits it right at the base of it where it's nowhere near him. It looked really shit. They should have had a different camera angle. Maybe from like outside looking in.
Yes.
Would have been much, much better.
Stinger gets some of his blood on the broken tombstone. I thought it looked cool.
I will give them props for their props. Much better than the cinder block that WWE used, where it just explodes into like a puff of powder. So this was much, much better than that. Did you like Abyss selling how heavy it was as he carried it into the ring?
I wrote that down. It's 10 out of 10.
I felt so bad
selling the weight of it.
Yeah. And then Sting.
Fuck you, man.
Super Sting.
Fuck you.
And he's picked up his trademark baseball bat. Oh, God!
Stinger can't close the casket and Abyss chokes his way back out, chokeslamming Sting, breaking the casket lid, which gets TNA chance. How about that? Look, swung it around. Abyss does a professional job picking up a second tombstone, selling like it weighs a ton, and sets it flat atop 2 open chairs. Since Abyss set it up, by the rules of wrestling, he must go through it.
Yeah.
Stinger hits him with a candelabra, doesn't wallop him with it, which would be fair game. And Abyss falls through, breaking the tombstone in 2 perfect pieces.
What are the chances?
1. Stinger fumbles Abyss into the casket and closes the broken lid, winning in 10:41.
It was only 10 minutes? Oh my god, those poor guys, that must have felt like hours. Did you like how they were raising the casket? Both men were on it, Thing was in it. Sting was just lying on top, and then he got about 4 or 5 feet in the air, and he's like, fuck this! He jumps back off it. I don't blame him.
See, he could either kind of straddle it or get in with Abyss. Like... So, what do you think of this match?
A comedy of errors. So terrible that it's iconic now. Everything about it, from the shitty fucking background plot to the cheapest props, the awful casket that takes up half of the ring. This is all gold, and I love it. I enjoyed this match so much. It's so great going back 10 years later and watching this shit and not feeling like a sap for watching it, you know, because I think I watched this when it happened and I was like, I can't believe I wasted my time. But now, time well spent.
Yeah, no, it is what it is. They're both capable of so much more than this. Throw a couple of shit wrestlers in a match like this, you know, gimmick it up. These lads can actually wrestle a match, so they're just completely wasted. Russo obviously took it upon himself after he got those chances. Right, I'm going to really fuck this up in lockdown. I blame this crowd for what happens at lockdown.
I'm going to book shit out of spite.
I'm in charge here.
Yeah,
I'll show you bollocks.
Yeah, yeah. And the fish market brawl is a direct result of this crowd.
So thank you.
Yeah, in
Orlando.
a way.
You know.
Yeah.
Incredibollocks. Milestone in TNA. Milestone in OSW. Loved it. So, 8 matches down, 1 match left. It's time for your main event. It's your main event, Samoa Joe versus the NWA World Champion, instant classic Christian Cage. That being Christian's pre-WWE indie name from Christian Slater and Nicolas Cage. He made his in-ring debut in 1995, wrestled with his lifelong buddy Adam Copeland, aka Sexton Hardcastle, aka Edge. He debuted in the WWF as Edge's younger brother, immediately winning the light heavyweight title in his debut. They tagged as Gangrel's minions in The Brood and split off by themselves. Feuding with the New Brood, the Hardys, and the Dudleys, they raised the bar to unattainable levels with their legendary TLC matches and becoming breakout comedy heels.
I'm gonna play our music. You think you know me? You think you know me? All right, get out.
Edge and Christian split after Edge won the 2001 King of the Ring. Christian would parade around holding the trophy. And they ended up having a kind of sucky feud.
Yeah, not great.
Tag team breakup, Steve. He dropped down to get a tantrum gimmick where newly faced DDP would help try control it. Along with fellow Canadians Test and Lance Storm, they became the Un-Americans, which is basically fodder for American Badass Taker to destroy, before being drafted to Raw. After meeting with The Rock, and The Rock had the people, he'd call his fans peeps. Captain Charisma had a decent heel run on Raw, but never legitimately close to winning the world title. After failing to take the title off Cena in 2005, Christian was drafted to SmackDown and his career plummeted into a black hole down to the US title division and losing his opportunities. Christian's contract expired Halloween 2005, so he trademarked Captain Charisma and signed with TNA, debuting 9 days after leaving SmackDown.
Wow.
The Instant Classic was the reason we started watching TNA.
Yeah.
That's why we jumped ship. Fucking want to see Christian in a world title.
He was my boy.
Yes. 3 months later, he lifted the TNA world title. At this point, he's dropped it and then got it back. This run as a chicken shit heel champion, bringing in his Raw protege Tyson Tomko to TNA with him, and last month enlisting Steiner services, forming the Christian Coalition.
I love the Christian Coalition. I thought Tomko's bodyguard was actually good.
Yeah.
I half expected when I met the guy to be wearing a grass skirt, mumbling gibberish and peeling bananas with his feet.
Ridiculous racism, as Christian expected Joe to be wearing a grass skirt, speaking gibberish and peeling bananas with his feet. Great Muta comes into Cage's locker room. Christian asks if he wants to be pals. What are you up to? You're not busy. Probably delivering takeout.
Cheeky little shit.
Amazing. Muta rips off his outer mask and takes offense, spitting green mist onto a locker. It's very odd, isn't it? But I suppose they don't want to put Christian at a disadvantage right before the match because he's a heel.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll just spit onto his jacket then.
Here's a cup. Hands it to him.
Oh.
Samoa Joe gets a proper Samoan entrance with traditional fire batons and dancers. They do a lot of yo.
Yeah.
Yo. So we have yo, which is Samoan, yo, which is Irish,
yeah,
and yee, which is Tatanka. Impact Zone give Samoa Joe a proper Ring of Honor / Japanese coloured streamers in the ring. I fucking love it. They're
it's cool.
So classy. I always hope they did it for someone in WWE. I wish Daniel Bryan got, he'd be perfect to get that, you know. But WWE, they're against that kind of crowd interaction. Don't throw anything in the ring, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
WCW, they're big into the garbage.
Oh, yeah.
They even put it in the N64 games, you know, the WCW versus the
Really?
They put, you know, when someone does the win taunt, they throw garbage in the ring.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, do you see the ref? It's Rudy. Yeah, Rudy Charles here, currently working with WWE. Yeah, since
That's
2013. Popped up a few times on TV, but usually at NXT, Performance Center, Cruiserweights, that kind of thing. Do you remember we chatted for him in Liverpool?
Liverpool, yeah.
We fucking love that.
He turned around and he was like, fucking yeah! Loving it.
So grateful. He's awesome. Samoa Joe looks fantastic. Trounces Christian in the opening exchanges. A couple of thigh kicks, and we get one of my favourite spots ever. Christian goes to the second turnbuckle, springboard splash off the ropes, and Joe telegraphs it, nonchalantly walking out of the way.
Great spot. I thought Christian, like, his flip was awesome. Really loved that shit.
Going to the outside, Christian takes a really nasty bump, being thrown down onto the floor.
It was nasty.
Joe, look at the power!
The splat of it as well. It's like, God damn. Hilariously, TNA excuses the ref's leniency for brawling into the crowd and Joe using weapons as fans don't want to see it counted.
Bollocks.
Christian takes control with a DDT on the apron.
Kane bumped, by the way. Yes, Joe did. And I don't blame him.
Oddly choreographed rolling log trip up by Joe. Christian literally has to go, okay, nod, and then they do the spot. It was shit.
It sounds a bit shit.
And it was really fake.
Isn't that the fucking spot that the girls do on the referee where they roll over the ref and the ref is like, oh yeah, this is amazing. It would have been hilarious if Rudy was like, oh, Joe's rolling at me.
From standing, Joe picks up Christian for a muscle buster.
Impressive.
Something you can only do with lighter wrestlers. Really cool. Cage slips out for a reverse DDT. He tries a flying splash and gets a jumping knee to the face for his trouble. Christian tries a powerbomb reversal, but Joe holds onto the ropes and then he just flump to the ground really shows Joe's weight advantage.
Yeah. Do you reckon that was a planned spot, or did he just crumple under Joe's weight?
It looked too awkward to be a planned spot.
It did, didn't it? Well done to both guys. Joe covered it up really well. He just got up, started kicking Christian. They had a chat for like 2 seconds and they didn't repeat the spot. They just went on with the match, and I thought that was like pros right there.
And Don West takes the heat by saying Joe's boot is crushing Christian's larynx.
Fucking Yanks. His esophagus.
Jumping knee off the second rope. Signature scoop slam. Powerbomb holding the body. Gets a 2. Joe turns him over and into a deep Boston Crab, transitioning it into an STF.
Great spots. Fucking awesome. I was watching this and I was like, really? WWE? You didn't sign this guy in 2007 when he's awesome?
Need a bit of Nation of Violence there. And bit of
Needs
pajama.
more cock on the face. Pajama pants.
Christian rolls over, but so does Joe and maintains the crossface. But as Joe applies the Kikina clutch, Christian grabs the ropes. A second clutch is immediately and smoothly reversed into an unprettier by Christian, but only for 2.
Great pop for
Oh
that.
my god, because he put it on and he's like, I'm right out of it.
Yeah.
That is fucking main event wrestler.
Yeah.
He knows the Kikina clutch will end the match, so he has a reversal for it. Time to take it home. After taking a suicide dive, Christian says, fuck it. Opts to leave and retained by countout, but TNA babyfaces appear at the ramp and throw him back into the ring. Joe does an almost tombstone-like shoulder breaker, but ref Rudy Charles is out of position, so Joe only gets a 2. Christian pulls ref Rudy Charles into harm's way for a boot and counters Joe's suicide dive with a chair shot. Joe hits a muscle buster.
Muscle Buster! He hit it! He got it! 1, 2! Come on, you gotta count!
And down Rudy counts 1, 2, kick out. It's like, I flipped out seeing it. A third Kikina clutch is met with a low blow, a wow. And the fourth applied is taken to the mat, but Cage bowls over onto the mat to pin Joe shoulders down 1, 2, 3, retaining in 17:57.
And then fucking legs it.
He's like outside the ring just talking to his belt. Oh yeah, you and me, baby. Yeah, so anyway, what do you think of this match?
Really good match. Best match of the night by a mile.
Second best after Abyss.
Oh, of course. This match was like a real main event. It had a story. It built well. It got better as the match went on. Wasn't overbooked. No interference. Well, slight interference when the babyfaces drew Christian back in. Great match.
Couldn't agree more. And the use of near falls, expertly done here. The suspension of disbelief here, even though, we're talking 10 years ago, and knowing the result, you can still get into the match. Typically, near fall matches are, okay, well, we know you have to do 3 tombstones.
Yeah.
3 F5s or...
1 pedigree.
But here I just thought it was handled excellently. These lads are both great, both at their prime, I would say.
Yeah.
And all their matches with, AJ, Angle, Joe...
Steiner.
Morgan.
The main event at this time was 9 times out of 10 great.
Yeah, fantastic match. Couldn't agree more. I could agree more, but I won't. Great high stakes back and forth finish. You're saying we're getting sucked into it. Absolutely. Unbelievable that Joe didn't win this one. It was primed for him to win, and Christian managed to find a way, because although he's a chicken shit heel, he's actually really intelligent, and it's great to see him being booked as a main eventer with the storyline drama, because usually storyline drama is only for main eventers. If you're low on the card, you don't really have the huge dramatics, so it was awesome. Yeah, fucking awesome. Great job, TNA. Ton of bollocks tonight, and then they really showed it in the main events why you should watch TNA.
Yeah.
So, let's take it to the aftermath. Welcome to the aftermath. Steve, what did you think of the pay-per-view overall?
All right, so I have some good and some bad points. For the good, I thought the promo packages were way better than I thought they were going to be. Like, obviously, they're not as good as WWE promo packages.
They're the best in the world.
Yeah, but they were pretty fucking decent. JB, he's the best at his job, be that announcing matches or backstage interviews. Christian and Rhino both had very good backstage interviews. 3 or 4 good matches. Austin Starr versus Senshi. Jerry Lynn versus Sabin.
Jerry Lynn.
Christian v. Joe. And of course, the last Rites match. Special note for Christy Hemme being really fucking hot. And Elevation X, which I expected to be shit, was not. Not bad. For things I didn't like, overbooked mess of an opener. Absolute bollocks. The double bull rope match, overbooked bollocks. VKM and their promos and their women hating and their wrestling. Lots of women and gay bashing on this show. Not big fan of that. Steiner botching the finish of their match. It's priceless. It's getting mentioned in both last Rites. Overall, this was a really easy watch. I thought it would have been a better show if they had slightly less gimmick matches. 2 or 3 max, not like 7. Gimmicks should only be there if it's the end of a feud that's been going on for months, or if it's something that's going to make the match better. If your gimmick makes the match worse, it shouldn't be there. So, yeah, that's it. I would still recommend this show.
It's refreshing to watch TNA, considering we've been in the doldrums of WCW for a year in terms of in-ring quality. In general has been awful. So it's nice. Out of 9 matches, 3 I would rate as excellent, which is a good return, to be fair. If you took 2 crappy matches off the card and made the Cruiserweight and the Senshi match, if you made them longer, I would have been happy. I have great memories watching TNA around 2007 time. Happy with this pay-per-view. I would recommend definitely watching those 3 matches, Abyss, Sting, and just for the spectacle alone, the Elevation X.
A very easy watch, one sitting, great wrestling, tons of wrestlers I love seeing. Everyone's so young, apart from Johnny Rods. Great to finally dip a toe into TNA. It's a world unto itself. Obviously way too many gimmicks. Like, I count High Flying X Division as a gimmick in itself. You don't need to add anything onto it. Enjoyed the in-ring, like in this era, TNA running laps around WWE. I enjoyed the Russo bollocks. It was great. This is what I want,
It's what I want.
It's what I want. One question. How does he keep getting work? Multiple decades, multiple promoters. Like, fucking ICW hired him as well.
Isn't it weird how, like, these wrestling companies are not willing to take a chance on someone new, someone young, someone fresh? And it's like, I know what I'll do. I'll use the same guy that's always failed and who will cost us the most.
It's the enigma, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
He is a charming guy when we saw him when he came to Dublin. Lovely guy, funny guy, great to have a pint with. Just let's not put you in charge of the company.
Yeah.
You can imagine he'd be an awesome interviewee. Going in for a job, he's going to fucking talk you around. He's going to sell you.
Yeah. I'm a worker, bro.
I swear to God, bro. So let's take it to the wrestling is...
Murder!
Very good segment.
Awesome!
Well, that does it for this week's folks. That is not a sentence. That does it for this week, folks. Geez, what do you think of the episode? How did that go?
It felt good.
Felt right.
It felt right. It's been a long time coming. TNA, like.
Yeah.
Wow, how long?
Overdue.
5.5 years of doing this show, more. And this is our first time doing TNA. Wow.
I think people are going to enjoy this run.
I'm going to enjoy watching it.
Yeah.
Like, as in, watching, obviously, the review, or watching the show as well.
Excellent, yeah. What is next on OSW? We got Lockdown 2007, featuring the Fimbly Bimbly, the Gail Kim Kanto, and the electrified steel cage match.
It's going to be a powerful show, lads.
Tweet Bubba Ray about it. Oh yes, if you want to buy us points and get the next episode out quicker, you can enroll in Nogger University at
www.
Don't say www. You don't need to.
Patreon.com/old school wrestling review. I don't know. I can't remember what that is, isn't it?
No. Noggeru.oswreview.com.
Oh, okay. Noggeru.osreview. I hate this promo.
Fucking 6 years of doing this show. What?
Say it again.
Noggeru.oswreview.com.
Okay. Noggeru.oswreview.com.
Thank you, Stephen.
Like a pro.
And remember, you can catch all of our videos free of charge in an IMAX Leopard 4:3 full screen at...
This is an easy one, Steve.
I kind of switched off there. I'm sorry.
Oldschool.com. OSWreview.com. It's the name of the show plus a .com.
http
OSWreview.com.
Excellent. So it's a goodbye from Ozzy.
See you in Orlando.
And V1.
Paul Winkle.
And myself, Jay Hunter. Remember, a winner is you.